Hello and welcome to another episode of Tales from a Professional Nerd. My name is Bryan Steele and I will be your nerd today and any other day that you watch one of my silly little shows. Hello everybody. It has been, to say it's been a roller coaster of a week would be sugarcoating it, because roller coaster, A, I don't like roller coasters, but B, because the ups and downs have been so extreme that it would be a roller coaster be doing nothing but this. It's more like a seismograph. Like it's nuts. It's nuts. So let's get into it. We'll start off with painting, because I haven't got a lot done because everything has been crazy. I got a little more paint on a couple of Necromunda models, and I test printed a few things for a D&D game. One of them came out really goony. Like it was the features were all like softened, and so I got to take a look at the settings to see why that happened. I did get the entire noodle bar terrain piece primed and painted the security shutters and the door. So now I just gotta get the building painted. But I've lost a little bit of my spare time. We'll get into that in a minute. So I'll get to it when I get to it. Okay, so gaming. I officially got my first game in of the new Necromunda campaign that my friends are running with my Palanite Enforcers, my cops. It went about as well as any first couple games go for the Palanite Enforcers. I have a low body count, which means it's hard for me to out-activate anybody. And as soon as you take one or two losses, even if it's just like, oh, hey, somebody had to take a knee kind of thing, the efficiency of the force goes way, way down. So I ended up losing the match pretty handedly and pretty quickly. I think it was maybe like the third turn. But in the aftermath, the what happens after the game kind of thing, the campaign stuff, I ended up getting both of my guys that went out had to go to the injury table. And in a fun way of witnessing someone's rolls, my opponent rolled on the injury tables for me. And one of my guys that went out just got some cool scars. So one of his stats actually got better because now he's all cool and scarred up. So that was cool, and he doesn't even have to miss a game. He's just basically like, I'm all scarred and cool now. And then my leader, my actual my Palanite captain, when my friend Chris rolled the first injury, he got the multiple injuries, and I was like, great, my captain, in theory, my most important figure in the entire force is gonna get just mauled here. Great. And what the multiple injuries is that basically you get D3 injuries on the table. But what's kind of cool is that if you roll multiple injuries, the ones that you can't, like the really, really nasty ones, you can't get anymore. Like you can't be captured, you can't be, you can't die. It's already set in stone that you lived, but you got seriously hurt. And I was like, okay, well, I guess he's gonna live. Chris rolled 1 on the multiple injuries. So even though I got multiple injuries, I only got 1 injury. So it's like, okay, cool. I know he's not gonna die, and I only get 1 thing. That's not so bad. And then the 1 injury that he rolled was like the lesson. It's called like lessons learned. It's the best option you can get on the entire thing, where instead of being injured, you have to sit out a game to think about what happened, and you get an extra D3 experience. So yes, I lost the match, and it sucks to get get your butt handed to you so quickly by a bunch of mining dwarves, but it couldn't really have gone better of a loss, if that makes any sense. Nobody got permanently injured. Anybody who took injuries ended up coming out on top, and the only bad thing that happens is that I have to sit out a game with my captain, which is fine. I've got another game coming up tomorrow that I expect I'm probably going to play extremely defensively. It's against the Van Sars, and the Van Sars have I'm going to be kind of snarky. The Van Sar gang is kind of broken. The fact that they get technology that's better than 40k in a Necromunda game, and they can get it at their gang start, is ridiculous. They're better than my Palanites in just about every way. They get good armor, they get great weaponry, they get shooting skills right out of the bat. They're better shots than me to start. It's rough. It's me looking at things going, well, this first match, I am going to need to play super defensive and try and get him to kind of make a mistake. But after that match, the captain comes back and we'll see what's up. But so that's really the only game that I played, other than video games. I didn't even get any board games or anything. But this weekend, I have got a ton. I've got Necromunda tomorrow. I've got my periodic rifts, like the periodic table of elements. My every so often rifts game tomorrow night. Saturday, I have a birthday board game extravaganza at my buddy Nick's house. And I think on Sunday we might be having people over for board games at our house. So it's going to be a pretty chock full weekend of stuff, which is good because I need it. We'll talk about work stuff. We'll get the actual work part of the week in Bryan out of the way. Still waiting to hear back from Catalyst about the new Shadowrun novel. John, the editor-in-chief over there, is supposed to be talking to the Shadowrun licensor, or the head of Shadowrun, to make sure that my concept kind of gels with what they want to do. Which is fine. I want to get started on it, but I'm so busy that getting started on it right now would be, just another thing to be doing. But on a similar note, it's really cool. Natalie has started reading my Shadowrun stuff. She does not play Shadowrun. She is a role player, but she has not played Shadowrun. And I think she's starting to get into the world. We had a conversation over breakfast. She's about ready to finish my story, Tourist Trapped. And she's got some very cool ideas about things that are going to happen. One of my favorite NPCs, who's kind of a twist NPC at the end, she has her opinions of, and I cannot wait until she reads what really is going on. So it's really awesome. It's extremely, it fills my heart with joy to have someone experience my work anyway, but to have someone, that I love dearly and lives here, and I get to see in real time them see the plot as it unfolds. She's making me very, very happy, and is also making it so inspiring to keep working on things. So I have a lot to celebrate about that. My work on the Essence 20 adventure is coming to I'm getting ready to be done. Probably finish it later tonight, maybe tomorrow. But it's coming together. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Obviously more on that in the future as Renegade starts advertising it. I did get to commission an art piece for the cover, which I think is going to be super cool as far as the art goes. And I think it's going to be fun. It's a fun little short adventure that you get to experience some stuff from those licenses. Warzone, we are really coming into the stretch of getting things hammered down to be the end of the kind of Kickstarter wave of stuff. We have a couple more statistic tweaks that we want to do. A couple of changes to a few of the special abilities, basically in a way that we're noticing that ability, while on paper we thought was going to be super awesome and efficient, and it either ends up being clunky or just doesn't do anything and needs to be a little cooler. So we're doing a couple of minor tweaks. Nothing for the people who are playing out there and you see this and you go, "Oh God, they're changing my favorite unit." Nobody is like losing anything. We're just kind of making some adjustments to make some of the different units feel or behave a little better or a little more distinct for their faction. So that's cool. I signed on a little short term. It won't take long at all to do some fiction for an action figure company. So that's cool. I get to do some kind of like back of box text kind of thing for some action figures. Plus make some game stats for the figures themselves. So that'll be fun. A couple of weeks worth of work. Nothing too taxing or anything. I did get talked. I had a conversation with a former client of mine who might want me to do some kind of freelance sort of dev, like rules dev cleaning for their game. Still working on the deets on that. So I don't want to get too deep in case it doesn't actually gel or anything. But it's I like to always have a couple of gigs on the side to help pay for things. We'll get to that in a second. But also B, to keep leaving my the whole reason I do all of this. We've talked about this before. If you've watched any of the other kind of Bryan spills his heart out type episodes, my goal in life is to leave enough of an imprint on the gaming industry that people remember me in different aspects for different reasons, but hopefully all good ones. And that if someone has something that they think when they think of an aspect of gaming, that my name can be on that list in some way. I mean, do I want to be rich and famous? Rich would be great. Famous, I'm sure my ego would like that. But that's not the goal. The goal is to be able to live comfortably, enjoy life, and leave enough of myself behind through my work and through my characters and through my writing, that no matter what, it lives on beyond me. That's something that my kid. I promise I'm not going to cry. I'm in a place, but I'm not going to. It's too early in this video for that. I want my kid to be able to show his kids that Grandpa makes a bunch of really cool games and has been making games for a long time and made a lot of people happy. That's what I want to be known for. I want to be known for making people happy. Whether it's my stupid comedic nature or the games that I've played in or the games that I've created or the stories I've written. I want to make people happy, and it's why I always have got side gigs going. Obviously also because of the money, but that's my goal. So talking to especially old clients who I've worked for before, because obviously it went well. It feels right to kind of go back and get a little, get some more connection to it. So I'm very happy about that. I think that that's going to be a ton of fun if it comes together. I'll tell you more when I can. And then Evil Genius. So as of this Monday, as of this week, I sent the basically the beta manuscript for Intergalactic Heroes to our two like rules checking, kind of the rules cleanup guys. Our lead rules designer and one of our probably our primary rules developer. So super excited. I mean, it's a big book. It's a big book. But it has a lot of stuff in it that is very familiar to Everyday Heroes, players. But there's a lot of new stuff, and there's obviously a lot of specific to sci-fi stuff that doesn't really apply normally to the modern age. So they're going to do their rules sift. Sig has already found a couple of things that maybe some wording issues, or hey, this seems a little extreme, or hey, maybe these numbers don't work out. And that's exactly what I need, because when you're looking at 400 pages of text, it's very easy to lose a little thing, a turn of phrase, or these numbers don't add up quite the way that they should. And that's what you need these extra eyes for. So it's awesome. He is very, very busy right now with putting together the armory, which we just announced on GameFound. In fact, I'm going to put the link to the GameFound site in my description. The Armory is going to be a comprehensive book on weapons of the modern age, and it goes back to basically the firearms age, and it's got a handful of other things in there. It's got like an automatic crossbow. I got a kick out of it's a prosthetic. It's literally finger guns. It's a prosthetic finger zip gun. Basically, you get somebody who replaces a finger with a single shot. So I was like, that's pretty cool, and I think that it's going to end up being very not iconic, but I think people are going to use the finger gun in interesting and weird ways, we'll say. But the armory is Sig is eyeballs deep in the armory. So I don't expect him to really dig deep into IGH until he has that, to another level. But it's just even the couple of notes that he's left so far, as he's kind of using the rules pass on IGH as like a palate cleanser from the armory. Even those couple of notes that he's left thus far, I've been super happy with. I think it's really, really, really cool to see his look on things, his take on things. And obviously, if it's an opinion, that it comes down to, which direction I want to take that, because, at the end of the day, IGH is my endeavor. But a lot of times, I really appreciate Sig's view on things. IGH is the sci-fi, sort of child of Everyday Heroes, and Sig and Goob were the ones that created Everyday Heroes. So when it comes to a lot of their opinions on the core crunchy part of IGH, unless it's something that I specifically designed, I'm gonna 95% of the time I'm probably gonna listen to what they said, because this is it's born of their game. So I'm very, very excited to see that come together. We had a really cool meeting yesterday about some art assets that I also am excited to see become a thing. So awesome. Here's to that. Let's see what else. Evil Genius wise. I started on what I would call not the season finale, but the last assignment, the last adventure of season 1 of our Ego program. I've gotten that started up. And I have a meeting next week to talk about where we're taking season 2. A lot of cool stuff happening with that. I love that world that we're creating with the Nacho verse. You know that if you watched the or if you played through some of the Ego adventures, that joke would make sense, or that term would make sense. The let's see, what else? What else? Oh, I had a release this week. I had a PDF release on our website and on DriveThru called the Supporting Cast Volume 1 for Everyday Heroes. It's just a collection of NPCs, both a handful, like a dozen unique individuals, and then 8 kind of repeatable ones that are more like a type rather than John Doe. It's activated spy asset, that kind of thing. And so far so good. People have been sending me messages thinking that they seem to be pretty happy with it. And it's cheap. It's like $5 for the PDF, and you get a handful of stuff for your Everyday Heroes games. So I highly recommend it for obvious reasons. Then let's see what else. I know there was something else that I wanted to say about Evil Genius. No, I think it was just that. Supporting cast and IGH, a little bit of ego work. We are in the home stretch of getting art and stuff done for the legendary, the Packrim and Skull Island books. So that's coming together really well. Had some cool interactions with some artists this week. Sent off a pile of stuff to Legendary to have them look at. So things have been good. Work has been really good. Which is why I wanted to... and also work-wise. So next week, there will not be an episode of this show because I'm going to be at Origins in Columbus, Ohio. So I'm going to Origins specifically with Res Nova for Warzone. But I will be doing some Evil Genius stuff while I'm there. And Wednesday night, if you're at Origins and you are, and you're going to be around, from 6 to 8 at Novak's Tavern, which is on High Street there in Columbus, we're having an Evil Genius meet and greet. So if you want to get together, have some food, have a couple of drinks, and then get to meet a bunch of us developers and designers and stuff from Evil Genius, we're going to be there, and we'd love to have you come out. Please and thank you. So let's get into today's topic. So today's topic is kind of interesting because I'm going to do a cool unbagging from one of our sponsors. And while I was thinking about it, I watched a super cool horror movie called Late Night with the Devil earlier this week, and it is done in the style of a documentary about a late night host and a late night TV show, like a Johnny Carson style show. That kind of goes off the rails as you watch it, and there's a bunch of instances where they're like, and after these words from our sponsors, it's very, they talk about the commercial, and then you get a glimpse of what's really happening and stuff between the actors and things while the commercials are playing, because that's how that worked back then. And it's just, I thought it was a really, really good movie. But and now a word from our sponsors got stuck in my head. And then within 24 hours of watching that movie, I got a cool thing from Turbo Dork that we're going to unbox here in a minute. And then I got inundated with ads to contact a drink mix, a particular drink mix that's really trying to focus on gaming. They're as a company, they basically have been reaching out to internet streamers, video game Twitchers, and stuff like that. They're setting up these sponsorships where, obviously it's I get a cool discount code, which I will be giving to you guys later. But it is it's called Dubby. This particular one is a Jitterless Energy blend. It's the Merc Mayhem. cherry limeade. So what you don't know about me is, but every day before I go to the gym, and almost every day when I wake up, I normally have a heavily caffeinated drink mix before I kind of get my day started. Rather than having a cup of coffee, I have coffee from time to time, almost always Smuggler's coffee. But I've been doing this a lot more because I can drink it faster and get my my day up and running pretty quick. And it's very good for one of my pre-workout mixes is really, really good to kind of get the capillaries open. It's a vasodilator, I believe it was what it's called. But that's not something you can drink regular. You shouldn't just drink it regularly. It should always be kind of before a workout. And it makes you, if you're not using that energy, it can make me a little jittery. It can make me a little like tingly and weird. So I always like to have, I do a lot of like sweet tea. I do a lot of like soda stream water, flavored with a little like, drink mix stuff. And so when I saw this advertisement that they wanted to be able to sponsor gaming related YouTube videos and things, I reached out to them and I was like, hey, I'm down, I'm in. And they looked at all my socials and they said, sounds great, let's set you up. And so they gave me a discount code, and I've got a link. I'm going to put the link in the description of the video. So please, if you are even remotely interested in trying a pretty cool product, and you want to get, I think it's 10% off. It's either 10 or 15. I think it's 10% off. Please use my code, which is just my name. It's just Bryan CP Steele. With a Y in Bryan and an E at the end for Steele. Again, I'll put it in the description of the video. Yeah, please do an order, even if it's just you want to buy like the sample pack or something. If you like this stuff. Obviously, if you don't buy something just because I tell you to. I like having sponsors, but I'm the first person to tell you that I'm also not going to be like, if you don't drink this, I'm never going to prop up something that I don't actually enjoy, or something that I wouldn't use myself. So I am, and I'm going to show you. I guess technically this could be anything. My bottle's all sweaty. So they sent me a cool little swordsman dubby drink thing, and I actually do dig this stuff. So I've been drinking it last couple days. Like I said, I only got it a couple days ago. I would not use this for my pre-workout. And as far as I know, going through their website of their material or their products, it doesn't look like they've got a pre-workout. But it's really good for like a morning get up and go. It's basically this, in this case, this is more like just a caffeinated lemonade. But I'm happy. I'm super happy with them as a company. I don't know how the relationship is going to work. If I need to call them for more stuff, if I have to make an order at my discount, I don't know. But what I do know is they do make good stuff, and they signed me on to sponsor up. So I'll have a new commercial slide at the beginning of my videos and a new discount code. And if you are even remotely interested, please give them an order and use my code and my link to show them that I sent you. Cool. While we're talking about sponsors, I don't know, someone had noticed that I've not been specifically wearing Armor Class 10 t-shirts lately, and I haven't been putting up their title slide for a while. And that is because my sponsorship with Armor Class 10 sort of ended. Not on bad terms, no bad blood. Obviously, I still love those guys. They do great work. But there really hadn't been a lot of sales using my code for quite a while. And I know COVID really treated that company very poorly. So it's just, as a relationship, it kind of ended. Who knows? Maybe we'll get back. I'll get back in touch with them, and we'll see I'll see them, I think, at the conventions if they're still doing booths. We'll see where they're going from there. I just want to be upfront and honest with you guys. I have no ill will towards them, obviously. They're owned by friends of mine. But I did not feel comfortable taking merchandise from them when my sponsor code really wasn't being used all that often. Especially if a business is really trying to focus on its own upward growth. The last thing I want to do is be like, please give me free stuff. I want them to be successful, and I want them to keep doing the great work that they're doing. My sponsor over at Sovranti, the tabletop simulator kind of app service, they're still going strong. I popped over there and played a few games of Isle of Cats the other day, and they're just knocking it out of the park. They're rocking it. My code for them still gives you 60 days platinum service for free, which means you can host games and get everything that they have access to. And even if you don't, even when the 60 days runs out, it's only a couple of bucks a month. It is totally worth it for board game communities, and because you can set up very similar to I grab a couple of friends, they set up maybe the free account, I have the platinum account, and I'll host them to come play. Like it's a cool service, and you should totally check it out. Again, link in description. And then the one I want to talk to you about today specifically is Turbo Dork. So Turbo Dork does great paint. They do great painting supplies. We've already gone over their silicone, pop paint wells and stuff. They're mixing mats. They do great product. And it occurred to me, I was doing some painting the other day. I use a lot of Turbo Dork on barrel staining and a lot of goggles and glass and things like their color shift stuff is really good for that. And I had a couple of bottles that had gone bad, just because I hadn't used them in so long. They really had kind of gelled up on me. And it occurred to me that I hadn't talked to the guys over at Turbo Dork in a while, so I reached out and was like, "Hey, I haven't picked up any of your stuff in a bit. Anything new?" And Greg sent me a thing, which I'm going to have to use my scissors to open because I don't see a tear spot. So I want to make sure I don't cut anything that... Alright, so you're seeing it here first, folks. Alright, we have... Whoa! Okay, there's a lot in here. A little thank you note. Let's see, what does it say that they sent? Okay, what we have in here, we have the Starter Metallics bundle, the Starter Turbo Shift bundle, and a bottle of Hemoglobin, a bottle of Twin Suns, and a bottle of Tin Star. Okay, so let's take a look. Now, I'm sure that normally oh, I got the new bottles. Oh, very cool. Very cool. So old Turbo Dork bottles are just small dropper bottles, with a different kind of lid. Let's get these open. All right. So we have, this one is here's the color shift. So we have the new bottles to match the new... Oh, man, these are cool. They're like... Wait, are they childproof? Oh, they're childproof caps! So they're going to have a better seal on them. Oh, that's cool. Oh, no, it's... Oh, my gosh. No, that's the dropper. Okay, cool. All right. I know you guys are like, wow. So this is the pearly gates. So a lot of these colors are remixes of old colors that are using a new medium at TurboDork. So some of their initial medium, when they started really getting into the color shift, when they kind of started stuff off, their paint medium was very temperature sensitive. If it got too cold or it got too hot, it would seize. And they were really awesome about always sending new bottles to people. Like people send them a picture, hey, my my scarab green went bad. They would send them a new one and whatnot. Well, I know that they have since fixed that problem, or at least minimized it. Minimalized. It's not a problem. They've either minimized it or completely fixed the problem. But they also have new paint pots. And so this particular one is Pearly Gates, which is a metallic white, effectively a metallic like full silver sort of thing, and so it's a very big lid. I thought that it was a completely pull top lid, but it is. It's got kind of a little play to it and a hole at the top. It is a push down. You push down and turn. And now it is open. Let me see if I can't get... So now it is open. Or it should be, anyway. Did I not do it enough? Maybe I have to keep turning. Oh, okay, there we go. There we go. Oh, so it's not a dropper. Okay, it is just a child-proof cap. But it's got the small dropper and extremely thin, so it's not going to get all gummed up like the regular standard funnel type droppers. I mean, yeah, good consistency. Try not to get it all. Oh, I did white on white, Brian. Let's try that again with a different color, folks. Let's do one that isn't invisible to the camera. And then it just closed, but it's got this spin to it. So that childproof seal is going to is absolutely going to keep it from getting air pulled back into that straw and gum it up. That is going to be great. Okay, I love that. All right, so always got a TurboDork sticker. Let's take a look at these paints, which you've probably seen some of them before. I know some of the mixes are... Oh, I love that one. So we're going to look through the metallics first. Let's run through here. All right, so I already showed you Pearly Gates. So we have Pearly Gates. I'm going to take a quick drink. I am thirsty and parched. All right. So let's run down the metallics line. So this is the metallic starter set that you should totally go. Which I would be remiss if I said that if you didn't do it. Please use my discount code when you order this stuff. It is on the advertisement in the description of the video and in the title placard card. Here, my nose is, oh, I forgot to turn off my robot, so it's going to talk to us for a second. So I'm going to try and talk over it so you guys don't hear the loving message that my wife leaves me on my robot every day. I always forget. All right, so we have a cool metallic red called Red Rum, which is murder backwards. I like this color a lot. Let's do this one on one of the pieces of paper. Do the run on the paper. La, da, 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 da. See if you can hear it. La, di, da, da, da. All right, and then push down, push down, push down. Basically, you do it enough that it then comes. You go until you hear the little seal crack. Man, that's going to be great. That's going to be so good. Here we go. Let's do a couple of drops. Whoa, okay, a lot more. I squeezed real hard. But red rum, red rum. So that cool metallic red. It's gross. Okay, sorry. I'm doing gross stuff. Oh, very cool. All right, I'm gonna throw that away before it gets all over everything. So yeah, there's the metallic red. I love it, and it's a deep red. It's not like a metallic like scarlet red, which makes for a very good like undertone on weapons and stuff, especially if you want to have a weapon that looks like it has seen recent action without gooping it up with like bloody effects, which sometimes I like and other times I think looks kind of tacky. You do an undercoat of you do black primer, an undercoat of red rum to get that kind of sort of like base red, and then you do like a very patchy like silver over the top of the red rum, even if it's watered down a little bit, and it'll like the like blood staining will kind of come out through the silver. It's pretty cool. Speaking of silver, we have Silver Fox, which is a very I won't say a plain silver. It's a little darker, like more of a bolt gun metal, but it's very shiny. So we've got that. We have the Purple People Eater, metallic purple. I used this a ton on the couple of Emperor's Children models that I did. We have Bullion, obviously a nice metallic gold. We have Gordian Knot, which is a metallic kind of, we'll call it green. It's like almost like a seafoam green. We have Cool Ranch, like the Dorito, and it's the color of that Dorito bag, like straight away. Even like the special fancy metallic bags, metallic blue. And then we have the Bee's Knees, which is technically a metallic yellow, but Bee's Knees is a sick highlight for gold. Like do a regular gold or a brass, and then a couple of highlight spots with Bee's Knees. So good. That is the metallic starter set. So that's everything that comes in the metallic starter set. Now we have the basic color shifts. So this is the starter set for the color shifts. Let's get these out of the bag so we can take a look at them. All right, I am gonna probably do another drip of one of these so you can see. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a drip of one of these because they dry. They dry a little differently. So let's take a look. All right, so we have all right, we have So Let Them Eat Cake, which is a kind of it goes from like purple to an orangish on the color shift, so you can see how that goes. Very cool. Yeah, let's grab where's one of my favorites? There we go. One of my favorites that I use on all the time on my goggles, and like unless it's like a night vision scope, is 3D glasses, which is a blue to pink red color shift. So I'm going to put a couple of drops of that. I'm going to get it nice and mixed up because I don't know how long it stayed in the... I wish I had my paint mixer right now. Not that you would want to hear it anyway because it's ridiculously loud. I need to get one of those good ones where you just like kind of press it against a little thing and it goes... I have one you have to strap the paint in. Oh, I'm shaking the whole camera by shaking this paint. All right, so let's get this. Let's take a look here. All right. So we're gonna close. There we go. I heard the seal pop. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna dig these bottles. All right, so I'm gonna do a line of this. I'm actually going to smear it out a little bit because I want it to dry by the end of this video so you can see what it looks like. All right, so we did... this is the 3D glasses. So it's starting out very gray, and then I'm going to let it sit there, and I'm going to let it dry, so you can see a lot of these color shift paints. It's you're looking for an effect. You're looking for sometimes it might take 2 or 3 coats to get that effect, but you're trying to layer up the pigments, the kind of special pigments that are in these color shifts. So we're gonna put that there and let that dry while I'm talking about the rest of these. Another fun one, I like this one a lot. This is The Ground is Lava, which is a kind of orange to red color shift. Always fun there. We have Ice to Never. Ice to Never is the kind of a cold color thing where it goes from blue to kind of a very deep, indigo purple. So that one's cool. Cool. We have Afterburner. Afterburner is the kind of gold to copper color shift. That's always a good one. Miami Sunset, which is purples and pinks, goes all the way up to like an orange, like a very orange pink. Then we have Dark Net. So Dark Net, I haven't used this one in a while. I used it on some of my Necron characters. Whoa! And I threw it. Shook too hard. I use this a lot on if you want metal to look almost like otherworldly. It is a blue to gray silver. It's very cool. This is a really, really cool color. I've used that a lot for doing like the undersides and the deep parts, like the shading on metal things, and then use something like a silver or a even like maybe kind of a metallic white to pick out some of the highlights. And then we have another color shift metallic that is on, rather than the silver to the silver scale, this is more like the bronze scale, or like the silver to blue electrum. So you see how it kind of goes that. This one's real good for the heat scoring that comes out of if you see like a chrome exhaust pipe that's been kind of that blue to gold, that blue purple from the heat oxidization. I think that's what it is. Iodization, whatever. What the heat does to it. This is a really good layer to kind of get the end right. I mean, you're still probably going to need to add a little bit more blue, and you probably maybe have to do some weathering powders or something to really kind of get some of that sort of charring of the metal. But this is a really good subtle way of adding something to the end of a barrel or a pipe or a heat vent or something that shows that it's got that heat tarnish happening. So that is that's the metallic starter set. Obviously, the metallic color shift that I already did is not yet dry. So they sent me 3 individual bottles that aren't in the starter sets. These are like kind of like special one-off paints. And it's because these 3 are some of their fan favorites. So let's take a look. So the first one, this one is Twin Suns. Twin Suns, not suns as in like the twin sons of Tatooine. Twin Suns as in I've got Steve and Henry are my kids kind of thing. And this is you'll note that it is a different type of shift. It's a blue-green, but it's a lateral shift. So like the way that it splits, the way that it comes in, it's like a layered shift. It's very, very cool. I say very, very cool all the time, but I really do live this. Now we have Tin Star. Tin Star is a nearly chrome. So like Turbo Dork really does focus on like paint for effect. Like, yes, you could do an entire model on Turbo Dork stuff. It, depending on the model, it could be really cool. But I think their place in my paint rack, where they sit for my paints is special effects. Is I want these goggles to pop. I want this sword to look additionally special. Oh, this guy's got some really cool jewelry. I want that jewelry to stand out. It's not the kind of thing that I normally paint an entire model using these colors, but using them to pull out very particular pieces. This I would definitely not use to do an entire model. Maybe the Silver Surfer. But like, it is easily one of the shiniest silvers that I've seen. I mean, it's not quite to the point of like car detailing chrome, but it's freaking close. This is a 10 star from TurboDork. If you want something to pick out shined metal, like, this is not something I would use for any like battle worn armor, or if I wanted to do like a shining paladin, like he's glistening with the light of the Lord. This is something I would use to all of his rivets, all of the highlight pinpricks, the edging on swords. If you want something to stand the hell out, 10 star. And then the last one is another one of those layered color shifts, and this is hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. Sorry. Hemoglobin's in your blood. Hemoglobin. So it's a kind of a yellow green, gold green metallic shift, which I have not used this one. I will be honest. This is the first time I've gotten my hands on it. So I cannot tell you what I would use it for. But looking at that color, this would probably be pretty cool, because it's got that sort of kind of patinas down, like it's a brass to that kind of brassy, that kind of greeny patina. You know what? I'm gonna use some of this on some of the Noodle Hut, because it's out in the weather. Maybe the sign will have some patinaed brass on it. I'm going to use some hemoglobin on that, and I think that's going to be very cool. All right, that is all of the paints that they sent me in this batch, the 2 starter sets and the 3 fan favorites. Use my code, go to TurboDork, get some of the new stuff, get these new paint pots, get the new mixes. While you're there, grab a silicone paint tray, because theirs is... I'm not just saying this because they're my sponsor. I'm saying this because I really do. I use it for literally every painting project that I've got. It's one of the best paint trays in existence. The silicone means that stuff doesn't stick to it. And the fact that they started creating them hollowed out, so you can pop the painted... You don't just sit there and pick at it to peel it up or anything like that. You can just turn it over in the trash can and, pop those out. Worth their weight in gold. In bee's knees gold. It is easily one of the coolest paint companies out there, in my opinion. They're great people on a personal level, but also as a business. They take care of their customers, and they really do... they support if a product goes south. If you send them if you go onto their Facebook page and you send them a picture of this bottle got a clog and exploded all over my mat, they will totally help you out. I can't tell you enough how cool of a company they are, and I'm so fortunate that I became affiliated with them when they were in their infancy. And now that I'm seeing them really taking off and coming up with new paint bottles with child-proof seal caps, and new paint mixes and new colors and new products, it's amazing. And I would appreciate it if you're a hobbyist. Throw them an order. Use my discount code so they know. So you save some money, but also so they know that I sent you, because I want to be able to give them a pat on the back. Because of making such cool stuff and supporting me in the show. It means a lot to me. It really, really does. And yeah, so that's it. That's a stream. Oh my gosh. Speaking of support, and speaking of, I had mentioned, I blurred over it. It has been. I mentioned that it has been a crazy couple of weeks, or crazy week. I won't get into the thick of it because this video's coming to an end. But all at one time, I got hit with a bunch of house repairs, and but that turned out to be expensive but really good because they're replacing most of my bathroom and some of a wall, and they're repainting my entire living room and resurfacing my ceiling, and like it's going to be a massive endeavor, and I may have to cancel a week of life to not be here during all of that. But all in all, the situation is being fixed. It's expensive, but insurance is doing what insurance is supposed to do. I'm paying my deductible, and they're doing twice that amount in work, which is it's going to be a lot, and it's going to be hectic, and I'm probably going to be on one of these videos pulling my hair out and telling you how stressed out I am because there's people in my house tearing my house apart. And then also this week, I found out that we always assumed that my son was going to need braces, but it's going to be a lot more extensive than we thought, and expensive, but there's going to be more involved with the process of him getting braces. I had braces when I was a teen, but I only had them for like a year and a half, and I didn't have to have any teeth pulled or anything like that. His is a much different circumstance, and my heart absolutely just weeps for him. And it's very expensive. It is even with insurance, it is very expensive, but is necessary, and he's being an amazing little dude about it. Super, I don't mean he's super brave. He's being super brave about it. Not worried about the pain or the process so much as he keeps bringing up how he wants to have a real smile, and he's such a grown up. He's such a damn grown up. It's killing me. But it is going to be expensive, and it is going to be a lot of taxing moments on the young lad. So fingers crossed. Put him in your thoughts going into the months forward, because that process is going to suck. And please let all of my sponsors know that I'm doing a good job by ordering from them. Even if it's something tiny, just use my code to let them know. Because I like to be able to support them, and I like them to know that I'm trying to prop them up and giving them some love. So please hit the description in this video to take a look at the various things, the various companies that have decided to back this funny little show that I do. And I'll see you in 2 weeks because of Origins, and I'll tell you all about it. I'll tell you how it went down. But let's just say that. Oh, we're still waiting on this stuff to dry. Man, it's probably gonna be a hot minute. I also don't know if doing it on paper was a good idea, because it looks like it may have leached the medium out and left kind of wads of pigment. You know what I'm gonna do? I will let this completely dry. I'm gonna let this sit here and dry, and then we will come back in a moment. We will come back in a moment to see how the actual end product came out. So I guess just hold off for a second. All right, everybody. So I gave it some drying time, and I wanted to show it to you now that it is dry. So that's that 3D glasses where it does the kind of blue to red shifting. I guess it's not completely dry. Dried a lot, but it's that blue to red shift, or blue to purplish red. But it's very very cool stuff. I love these colors. I love what Turbo Dork does, and they knock it out of the park. Like I said, it's fantastic. Like highlight accents, particular piece, like special effects stuff. Totally check them out. Use my code. Go to the description. Use my links. Go get some dubby stuff. Play some Savranti. This whole episode is designed to point out that I am thankful to my sponsors for the show, and that I couldn't. I mean, I could do this without them, but I'm glad that I don't have to. And while none of them are monetary sponsors, I don't want you to think that they are. They do not pay me to say these things. They just give me cool stuff, and they want me to show people the cool stuff that they have. And again, I want this industry. I want I want gamers and fans and friends. I want everybody to have a good time and enjoy life a little bit. And all of this stuff, I think, is beneficial toward those ends. So, without further ado, please, please, please be safe. Wash your hands. Don't lick doorknobs. Don't eat food that you don't know where it's from. I don't know where that came from. Just be safe. Get your shots. Wear a mask if you have to. Just, life is rough enough without taking a bunch of unnecessary risks. Try and leave every room a little happier than when you got there, and I think the world will be a better place. So I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'll see some of you at Origins, but apart from that, have fun, be safe, and play some games. We'll see you in 2.